Guys, thank you for your likes at the beginning of the video. This has helped us a lot. I ask that you continue to leave your like, and also subscribe and watch the stories of our collaborating channel below. You can see the name of the other channel. Thank you for everything. We will continue improving the videos and text for you. So let's go to the video. In a totally alternative reality, Goku was a Saiyan warrior who protected the Earth. He was known not only for his great power, but also for his great wisdom by having trained strong warriors such as Krillin, Tenshinhan, and Yamcha. He had stood out so much that he would be chosen to be Kaio-sama. In this way, one day, Goku would be summoned by Emeda Yozama, where he should see Kaio-sama to start being trained. So, would I be Kaio-sama? I muttered Goku. Yes, that's what I just explained to you, I snapped Emeda Yozama. And can I choose if I want to or not? I responded Goku. No, you can't, I commented, Emeda Yozama. Hey, I continued Goku. Annoying. Goku, I just called you to give you the news and that you go with Kaio-sama, so get out of here and don't make me waste time, I shouted, Emeda Yozama. Okay, I said Goku. Goku, without wasting time, would go with Kaio-sama, who would explain to him what was happening. So, this is like this. Kaio-sama would begin to say, soon I will be Kaioshin, since our Kaioshin is very old and wants to retire. But to be Kaioshin, I need a substitute, someone to take my place. And that will be you. Why me? I noted Goku. Because you are the chosen one. I yelled Kaio-sama. But I don't want. I'm more than fighting and training, I replied Goku. Goku, don't be selfish, I noted Kaio-sama. This is important for the whole universe. They are positions that are necessary. Besides, if I'm not Kaioshin, it won't be another Kaio-sama. Another Kaio-sama? I snapped Goku. And who? Zamasu, I yelled Kaio-sama. He is the South Kaio-sama, but he is someone undesirable. I will be the Kaioshin, but if something goes wrong, Zamasu will be. And that will be a danger. Why would it be a danger? If it's Kaio-sama, it's for something, I replied Goku. Believe me, he is a Kaio-sama who has contempt for mortals. If he becomes Kaioshin, we would be in trouble. I included, because I don't like him. I shouted, Kaio-sama. Goku, this is not just for me. It's for life in the universe. Goku would be thoughtful for a moment. He would understand that the situation was serious. Well, then tell me what I have to do. I will do my best, I added Goku. In that way, Goku would begin to train fervently to become Kaio-sama. Although one day, Goku would ask him a question. Wait a minute, Zamasu has a name and is a Kaio-sama, so why do I call you Kaio-sama? I don't think you're called Kaio-sama, I continued Goku. Don't be bold. You don't have to know my name. Just tell me Kaio-sama as it corresponds. I said Kaio-sama. And then I'll tell you Kaio-sama and you'll tell me Kaioshin, I responded Kaio-sama. No, that's complicated, I snapped Goku. I know. If you don't want to tell me your name, I'll give you one. I'll tell you Kai. That name is stupid, I noted furious Kaio-sama. Well, it will be your name, and it will follow you forever, I declared Goku with a laugh. In fact, when the mortals talk about you, I'll tell them that you call yourself that. Kai the Kaioshin. Kaio-sama was really furious, but still he wouldn't tell him his real name. After that discussion, Kaio-sama would train Goku in the mystic arts necessary for him to learn what he needed to be a good Kaio-sama. Goku not only had to perfect his combat skills, but also learn about the responsibility of taking care of the balance of the universe. Although at first, Goku saw this role as an obstacle to his desire to train and fight, he would soon begin to understand the importance of the position. Kaio-sama would take Goku to the Tree of Knowledge, a sacred place where the future Kaio-sama meditated and learned about the history of the universe. There, Goku would spend whole days memorizing lessons about the cosmic cycles, the laws that governed mortals, and the importance of the balance between good and evil. Kai, this is very boring. Couldn't we do it while we fight? Goku said as he whispered. Don't call me Kai. And no, Goku, you must concentrate. This is not a game. Kaio-sama, we answer with a sigh. However, Kaio-sama knew Goku enough to know that active learning was his strength. Then, he would combine theoretical lessons with practical tests, where Goku had to face illusions of chaos created by Kaio-sama, solving conflicts without resorting to violence. Although he would like it, at first, Goku would begin to stand out, showing his intelligence and ability to analyze complicated situations. After months of training, Kaio-sama decides that Goku was ready to meet the old Kaioshin. This meeting would be key, since the old man had to approve Goku's designation as Kaio-sama. In a ceremony in the sacred kingdom of the Kaioshin, the old Kaioshin would appear. He was a being of fragile appearance, but his energy radiated wisdom and power. So this is the famous Goku you talk about so much, Kaio-sama. He looks strong, but does he have what it takes for the position? The old man would ask, observing Goku with interest. Of course he has it, Kaio-sama would answer with confidence. I have taught him everything you need to know. Goku, excited, would make an informal but sincere greeting. Hello, Mr. Kaioshin. I will be the best Kaio-sama, really, Goku commented. The old man smiles at Goku's spontaneity and submits him to one last test: protect a fragment of a fictional universe from a simulated attack. Goku, using not only his strength but also his newly acquired wisdom, passes the test successfully. The old man would be satisfied and would approve his appointment as Kaio-sama. Very well done, Goku. You have my blessing, said Kaio-sama. Kaio-sama prepares to become Kaioshin. With Goku as his successor, Kaio-sama would begin his own training to become Kaioshin. Under the tutelage of the old Kaioshin, he had to deepen his knowledge of the divine energy, absolute knowledge, and the use of new skills to perform his tasks in the universe. Meanwhile, Goku assumes his first responsibilities as Kaio-sama, visiting planets in crisis and resolving conflicts between mortals and demons. Although he didn't always use traditional methods, his genuine approach and his natural charisma would earn the respect of many. However, not everyone was happy with this transition. Zamasu, the South Kaio-sama, observed with growing resentment. That idiot cannot be a Kaio-sama. It is an insult that a Saiyan occupies the same hierarchy level as me. Zamasu had always aspired to the position of Kaioshin. He considered that mortals were inferior and did not deserve the divine guide of the Kaioshin.
Seeing Goku, a mortal turned into Kaioshin-sama, occupying the same place as him, was an insult that he could not tolerate. Decided to sabotage Goku and Kaioshin-sama, Zamasu would begin to weave a plan. He knew that to get rid of Kaioshin-sama, first he should discredit Goku. Using his knowledge of the dimensions, Zamasu would create illusory copies of Goku that would cause chaos on several planets. These evil versions destroyed villages and attacked mercilessly, raising doubts about Goku's ability to be Kaioshin-sama. With this, that idiot of Goku will lose his position so soon that he will not realize what happened, Zamasu would think with a malicious smile. Rumors about Goku's destructive behavior would quickly reach the ears of Kaioshin-sama and the old Kaioshin. Although they trusted Goku, they knew that the damage to his reputation could be irreparable if the truth was not clarified. Kai, I didn't do those things, I swear, Goku growled seriously. Stop calling me Kai. I know, Goku. This smells like Zamasu, Kaioshin-sama would answer, frowning. I know you two don't have a good relationship, but it's a very serious accusation, the old Kaioshin replied. Your Majesty, I know Zamasu. I would sell his mother for a soda, Kaioshin-sama remarked. Zamasu would do that to his mother? Goku remarked, intrigued. Oh my god, Goku, it's a metaphor, Kaioshin-sama responded, upset. Well, I think we should find out what's going on, the old Kaioshin noted. That way they decide to investigate. With the help of the old Kaioshin, they would trace the illusions to the South Kingdom, Zamasu's territory. Goku, furious by the false accusations, would face Zamasu directly. Zamasu, I know what you're doing. Stop now, Goku would exclaim, facing him in the South Palace. And if I don't do it, what? The mortals have no place among the gods. You are an aberration, Goku. Soon, everyone will see it, Zamasu would answer with a sinister smile. Then you, Kaioshin-sama, will not be Kaioshin, and I will be above you as I always deserved. No, you don't deserve it. You are a superb person and full of evil in your heart, Goku remarked. After all, thanks to this, you let yourself see your true essence. You don't even deserve to be Kaioshin-sama. Goku would throw himself at Zamasu. The confrontation between the two would be intense. Although Goku was physically stronger, Zamasu used cunning strategies and magic to buy time. However, thanks to Kaioshin-sama's training, Goku would be able to neutralize the illusions and demonstrate his innocence. Zamasu would begin to weaken, and each of Goku's copies would lose consistency, revealing Zamasu's true trap. Damn ape, Zamasu replied furiously. Upon discovering Zamasu's actions, the old Kaioshin confronts him directly. Both he and Kaioshin-sama would be witnesses to everything. Zamasu, your actions have put the balance of the universe at risk. There is no place for a Kaioshin-sama who despises the life he must protect, Kaioshin growled. That's why I take your place as Kaioshin. Zamasu, seeing himself cornered, would try to attack the old Kaioshin. Dirty old man, do you think you're better than me? Zamasu snapped out loud. That compassion for the mortals you have is what makes you weak. Just allowing someone like Goku to be a mortal stirs my stomach. You are the reason for the low level of life of this universe. Zamasu, in an agile movement, would throw himself at Kaioshin, but he would be stopped by Kaioshin-sama and Goku, who joined forces to neutralize him. Finally, the old Kaioshin would seal Zamasu in a dark dimension, preventing him from causing problems again. This will be enough, the old Kaioshin continued seriously. Hey, old man, I don't want to be rude, but don't you think it's better to eliminate him? Goku growled. Goku, a Kaioshin-sama, would never talk like that, Kaioshin-sama noted. I know, but my experience with enemies like him, so full of evil, always come back, exhausting all their resources to get away with their own, Goku continued. I saw the pride in Zamasu's eyes. He's even capable of hurting himself just to get away with his own. I understand your reasoning, but the gods of creation are not like that. That's the job of the god of destruction, the old Kaioshin yelled. God of destruction? Goku replied, confused, since he didn't know anything about Beerus's existence yet. Kaioshin-sama was terrified. He feared that Goku would want to face him if he knew about him. It's no one you should know about for now, Kaioshin-sama shouted instantly. What do you mean? The old Kaioshin commented. Didn't you tell him about Beerus? It's important that he knows. Well, Kaioshin-sama continued without knowing what to answer. Hey, I want to know who he is. I'm sure he's very strong, Goku noted, excited. With Zamasu out of the scene, the universe regains peace. Kaioshin-sama would ascend the position of Kaioshin, while Goku fully assumes his role as Kaioshin-sama. Although he would still prefer to fight and train, Goku would find satisfaction in his new role, protecting the mortals and ensuring the balance of the universe. Although Zamasu was weaving his plans, being locked in the dark dimension was just a stumble. 10 years would pass since Goku assumed the role as Kaioshin-sama. Although he fulfilled his duties, his restless nature and his love for combat remained intact. He supervised the balance of the mortal worlds, resolved conflicts, and occasionally trained with worthy warriors that he found during his visits to different planets. However, the monotony of his role as Cosmic Guardian began to weigh on him. Kaioshin, formerly Kaioshin-sama, was busy with his new responsibilities. Although Goku used to call him Kai, they both maintained a respectful relationship. The old Kaioshin continued to supervise them both, constantly reminding them of the importance of their work. One night, while Goku meditated on the Tree of Knowledge, a shivering runs through the universe. The stars seemed to blink at the same time, and a dark energy would begin to expand like an invisible plague. Kaioshin appears on the tree with an expression of alarm. "Goku, something terrible has happened. The balance of the universe is in danger," Kai said urgently. Goku would open his eyes alert. "What's up, Kai? Is there a problem with the mortals?" Goku muttered. Kai would deny with his head. "What is this? He has escaped from the dark dimensions," Kai added. "I don't know how he did it, but he achieved it for himself, and his power has increased." Goku's heart speeds up when he hears those words. "What? How is it possible? I thought he was trapped forever," Goku added. "We don't know for sure, but his energy is flooding the universe again. It seems that he has absorbed the power of the dark dimensions, and now he is stronger than ever," Kai explained. "Damn it! I told them to eliminate him," Goku replied in a bad mood. The old Kaioshin joins the conversation. "In addition, we have detected that Zamasu is traveling from planet to planet, draining the vital energy of each one. If we don't stop him, he will destroy life in the universe to strengthen," the old Kaioshin noted. Goku would squeeze his fists out of frustration. "I can't let him do that. I'm going to stop him," Goku replied. Goku and Kai would begin their search, tracking the trail of destruction that Zamasu left in his path.
They would visit devastated planets where life had been absorbed to the last trace. The dark energy impregnated the air, and the surviving inhabitants told stories of an enigmatic figure that absorbed the very light of the skies. As they investigated, Goku would notice something disturbing. The affected planets were not only empty of life, but also lacked any energy to regenerate. It was as if Zamasu had stolen not only life, but the very essence of creation. Kai frowned. Zamasu is not only looking for power, he is destroying the structure of the universe. Kai muttered, "We have to stop him as soon as possible." "Then we have to find him quickly," Goku added with determination. Finally, on a remote planet called Ithera, Goku would feel an overwhelming presence. The dark energy flowed like a storm. There was Zamasu, floating on an altar of ancient ruins, surrounded by an aura that seemed to devour the light. "Zamasu," Goku commented, landing in front of him. "Stop now, or I will be forced to stop you myself." Zamasu smiled with contempt. "You, a mere mortal turned Kaio-sama, you intend to stop me? You are the greatest mockery of the gods." Zamasu has snapped. "I will rule this universe, and I will make this place of the will of the gods, a beautiful place where there will be no space for mortals." "This does not have to end in a fight, Zamasu," Goku snapped. Although his posture was ready for combat, "we can find another way to fix this." "There is no other way, Goku," Zamasu would answer. "Mortals are a plague that must be eradicated. And you, with your ridiculous idealism, do not deserve the position you occupy." Zamasu would raise a hand, and a sphere of dark energy would quickly form. Goku would barely have time to dodge it before it exploded, destroying what was left of the altar. The confrontation had begun. "What do you want that for?" Goku responded. The battle between Goku and Zamasu would be intense. Goku displays all his power using the skills that he had perfected during his time as Kai or Zama. But Zamasu had changed. His strength was colossal, and every attack that Goku launched seemed to be absorbed by Zamasu's dark aura. Kai observed from a safe distance, unable to intervene. Goku is at a disadvantage. That energy is not normal. It is as if Zamasu was directly connected to the primordial forces of chaos, Kai remarked. Goku fought with all his strength, but soon he would realize that he could not win with brute force. "I have to find his weak point," Goku would think, while dodging another devastating attack. Suddenly, Goku would remember something that the old Kaioshin had taught him about the balance of the universe. Absolute darkness cannot be sustained without a spark of light. All chaos has an order core. Goku responded, "It is true. I already remembered it." With this idea, Goku would change his strategy. Instead of attacking Zamasu directly, he would begin to concentrate his energy in a single point, creating a bright sphere of pure ki. "What do you plan to do, Goku?" Zamasu would shout, throwing himself at him. "I'm going to illuminate your darkness, Zamasu," Goku would respond with great determination. The energy sphere would explode in a blinding explosion. For a moment, Zamasu's aura faded, revealing his true form. He seemed weakened, but not defeated. "What did you just do, disgusting worm?" Zamasu answered out loud. Kai would take the moment of vulnerability to intervene. Using an ancient divine art, he would try to seal Zamasu again. However, Zamasu had learned from his previous confinement and resisted the attempt. "I will not make the same mistake twice," Zamasu responded, freeing himself from the seal with a burst of dark energy. Goku, although exhausted, was not willing to give up. "This is not over, Zamasu. You haven't seen everything I can do yet," Goku said seriously. The confrontation between Goku and Zamasu continued. Each movement resounded like a thunderbolt on the desolate planet. Elfera, although the pure energy sphere had momentarily weakened Zamasu, his dark power seemed to reconstitute itself quickly, as if chaos itself fed him. Goku answered. His body was covered in sweat and wounds. Each attack he launched required greater effort, and Zamasu's dark aura continued to absorb much of his energy. The planet shuddered under his feet, as if Ethera itself succumbed to Zamasu's presence. "You are persistent, mortal, but your time is over," Zamasu growled, raising both hands to the sky. From his body arose tentacles of dark energy that spread like roots, enveloping the ground and rocks in his path. Goku would dodge one of the tentacles, but another would catch him by the leg and crash him against a rock. Kai would scream, alarmed, "Be careful, Goku! That energy consumes you slowly!" Kai would warn. Goku would get up,
shakily, despite the blow, he would look at Zamasu with a mixture of fury and despair. "I can't give up. I can't allow you to destroy everything we've protected." Goku noted with difficulty, releasing an outburst of energy to break the tentacles that immobilized him. Zamasu smiled, his face illuminated by the sinister glow of his aura. "Surrender, Goku. Every blow you give me only strengthens my connection with the dark dimensions. You can't win," Zamasu exclaimed in a sinister tone. Goku would charge at him, launching a series of fast and precise attacks, but Zamasu blocked them easily. His counterattacks were devastating, and each impact caused Goku's body to give in a little more. Finally, Zamasu concentrates a dark energy sphere the size of a small planet and would throw it at Goku. He would barely have time to generate a shield with his ki to defend himself, but the resulting explosion would throw him several kilometers, crashing him against a nearby mountain. Kai would run towards him while Goku tried to get up again, but his body trembled with exhaustion. I can't fail them," murmured Goku while his hands tried to cling to the rock. Kai would help him stand up. "Goku, listen, you can't face it alone. We need time to come up with a strategy. You must withdraw now," Kai replied. "No, if I go, I will destroy this planet," Goku would scream, although his body clearly could not stand much more. Zamasu appear floating in front of them, surrounded by an aura even more intense than before. "This is all you have, Goku. I'm disappointed. I thought you would be a worthy challenge," Zamasu remarked. "You are a disappointment like Kaio-sama, and you, disgusting worm, you are supposed to be Kaioshin, and you depend on someone of lower rank to defend yourself? You are useless." Goku would tighten his fists, gathering all the power he had left in one last attack. He would concentrate his Kai, creating a flash of light that momentarily illuminated the planet, and would launch towards Zamasu with all his strength. The clash would be monumental, but Zamasu's dark energy would absorb the impact as if it were a simple gust of wind. With a quick move, Zamasu would take Goku by the neck and hold him in the air. "You are pathetic," Zamasu muttered, tightening his grip while Goku struggled to free himself. "Is this the warrior that saved the universe so many times? What a disappointment!" Kai looked desperate, aware that he could not intervene directly without putting both in danger. Suddenly, he had an idea. "Goku, activate the teleportation technique now!"
Goku, with the strength he had left, placed 2 fingers on his forehead and visualized the farthest place from Zamasu that he could remember. A moment later, he disappeared from Zamasu's clutches, also taking Kai with him. Zamasu, initially stunned, would begin to laugh. "Running away won't change anything. You can run, but not escape. I am the darkness, and soon I will consume everything," Zamasu muttered. Goku and Kai reappear in a remote corner of the universe, on a small, peaceful, and uninhabited planet that Kai had used in the past as a refuge. Goku would fall on his knees, groaning, while exhaustion finally beat him. Kai would help him lie down next to a crystal tree. "You need to rest, Goku. If you continue like this, you will not only endanger your life, but also the possibility of stopping Zamasu," Kai noted with concern. Goku would close his eyes, frustrated. "I had never felt so powerless. Even in my most difficult fights, I always found a way to overcome myself."
But this time, Zamasu is different, Goku added. Kai already felt it. He is. His connection with the dark dimensions makes him almost invulnerable. But he is not invincible. There is a way to stop him, although it is risky. Kai exclaimed. Goku looked at him, intrigued. What do you mean? Goku snapped. Kai breathed deeply. There is an ancient ritual that the Kaioshin cannot perform, a technique that channels the energy of creation itself. It is dangerous because it requires a sacrifice. The executioner of the ritual loses his existence in the process, Kai remarked. That is not an option, Goku would answer quickly. I will not sacrifice anyone to stop Zamasu. Kai smiled weakly. I know, Goku, but we can still adapt it. If we find a way to combine this technique with your energy and willpower, we could create something powerful enough to face him. But first, you need to recover, Kai muttered. While Goku rested, Kai would begin to search the sacred records of the Kaioshin in search of allies and additional knowledge. He knew that the fight against Zamasu would require more than brute force. They needed the help of exceptional beings who shared their desire to protect the universe. Goku, with a smile of relief and the bottle that contained Zamasu firmly held in his hands, was preparing to return to the world of the living. Next to him, the Kaioshin, Kibito, and Kaiosama looked at him with cautious expressions. However, everyone shared a feeling of victory. Well done, Goku, the Kaioshin responded, wiping his sweat off his forehead. This time we managed to avoid a universal disaster. Goku smiled, somewhat exhausted but satisfied. Yes, although it was more difficult than I thought. But what do we do with this? Goku would ask, lifting the bottle with Zamasu trapped inside. I don't want something like this to happen again, the Kaioshin felt seriously. We must take it to a place where no one can touch it. Maybe the planet of Beerus is safe enough, the Kaioshin remarked. Good idea, Goku snapped. Let's go with Whis. Without wasting time, Goku takes everyone with him using his teleportation, reappearing on the planet of the god of destruction. Whis was waiting for them with his usual calm, holding a cup of tea in his hand. Wow, it looks like there was a lot of action, Whis would comment with a slight smile. And what is it that you bring, Goku? Zamasu is trapped here, Goku remarked, handing him the bottle. We thought this was the best place to keep it. Whis would examine the bottle, with his eyes shining with a curious flash. Ah, yes, the seal is strong. But, murmured Whis, Goku, you are now a Kaio-sama. Although temporarily, you must assume the responsibility of guarding this dangerous enemy. No one else can do it for you. Goku would scratch his head, something confused. Me? But Goku commented without understanding much. It's your duty, Whis interrupts. Gently. The universe needs you to protect the balance. Take Zamasu to the planet of Kaio-sama and make sure you are under proper surveillance. Without arguments to oppose, Goku would accept the task. With a demand, he disappears again, this time towards the tiny planet of Kaio-sama. Upon arrival, he places the bottle in a special chamber, reinforced with the most powerful bars that Kami-sama and the other gods could conjure. Here, it will be safe, says Kaio-sama, although his tone reflects a certain concern. No one can break this seal. For a few days, calm would return to the universe. Goku trained enthusiastically as he learned to handle the responsibilities of his new role. However, in the depths of the planet, a shadow would begin to form. A subtle, dark energy at first would begin to filter from the sealed bottle. The dimensional crack that Zamasu had created in Hell had left a scar, That connection, although weakened, allowed him to manipulate the flow of energy around him. Every moment that passed, Zamasu concentrated her will to weaken the defenses that kept him prisoner. Finally, one night in which Goku slept deeply, a wave of sinister energy travels the planet. The bottle would begin to tremble violently. The seal's runes flickered with intense light, trying to contain the force that emerged from within. "No!" Kaio-sama would exclaim when he felt the disturbance. "Something is wrong!" Before he could do anything, the seal broke with a burst of dark energy. The bottle would explode into 1,000 pieces, and Zamasu, with her aura of pure malevolence, resurfaced with a chilling laugh. "I'm free!" Zamasu would scream. "This time, there will be no prison that can stop me." Kaio-sama stumbled backwards, with his antennas trembling with terror. "Goku, wake up, fool!" Disparate, Kaio-sama snapped. Goku, startled, gets up from a jump. "What is going on?" Goku would ask, rubbing his eyes. "Zamasu escaped! She's going to kill us!" growled Kaio-sama. "It has to be a joke," Goku declared. "I'm serious." "You better be ready," Kaio-sama muttered. Goku stood up immediately. His energy was surrounding him with a blue glow. Seeing Zamasu, he would throw himself at him without thinking, who receives him with a smile of superiority. "Goku," Zamasu responded with a mocking tone, "how many times must I destroy you before you understand that mortals do not deserve to exist? Bastard! You have no right to say that," Goku said, furious. The battle would begin again. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. He channeled Kaioken to increase his power. Zamasu, now stronger thanks to the energy accumulated in his captivity, would respond with an unleashed fury. The blows and explosions from here shook the tiny planet, making Kaio-sama run in circles, screaming for his life. "They're going to destroy my planet again!" Disparate Kaio-sama responded. While the two fought, a new presence appears. Whis, Beerus. Alerted by the rupture of the seal, they would arrive at the location. "Whis! Zamasu escaped!" Kaio-sama would scream, pointing to the immortal god. "Yes, I can see that," Whis would respond with normality. Beerus frowned. His destructive energy began to manifest. "This is enough," Beerus groaned angrily. With a movement of his hand, he would throw a ray of energy at Zamasu, but the immortal, prepared for that attack, deflected it easily. "You tried it once, god of destruction," Zamasu snapped. "Your power cannot eliminate me." Whis would raise his scepter, observing calmly. "Goku, we must find him again. But this time, you will need to learn to use your divine energy in a more refined way." Whis muttered. Goku agreed with determination. "Tell me what to do," Goku replied, leaving the fight in Beerus's hands and going to Whis. Whis would begin to instruct Goku on a much more complex sealing technique that required channeling his divine ki along with universal energy. Meanwhile, Beerus kept a close watch on Zamasu, whose skills continued to challenge the laws of the cosmos.
Finally, with a powerful cry, Goku would execute the new technique. A series of bright runes appear around Zamasu, enveloping him in a spiral of pure energy. This time, the immortal would fight with all his strength, but Goku's power would be too much. "You can't do it again, Goku!" desperate Zamasu yelled. "I don't think so," Goku growled. Goku would use all his strength to seal Zamasu, but something would go wrong. After a mistake by Goku, Zamasu is released from the energy, and before everyone could react, he manages to escape. "Damn you, Goku," Beerus noted furiously. "Hey, it's not my fault! It's the first time I've tried this technique!" Goku growled.
To be honest, it lasted too long, Whis muttered. Whis, did you know I was going to go wrong? Goku noted. Indeed. But if you don't go through a situation like this, you won't learn. So, stay with the learning to do it right another time, Whis replied. That condemned is immune to Hakai. You have to find him once and for all, and find a way to eliminate him effectively, Beerus replied. Be aware that the only real way is through the power of Zeno, Whis yelled. But if he survived, I highly doubt that will work. This is getting worse and worse, Beerus declared. Wow, really? Zamasu is being more annoying than any villain I've faced before, Goku remarked. Zamasu, wrapped in a dark aura that resonated with hate and ambition, reappears in hell, a place where calm was nothing more than an illusory facade. The pink vegetation and the skies of white clouds seemed to mock the true nature of the place. In the distance, a small golden capuchin hung from a tree, catching its occupant with soft silk ribbons that emitted an absurd and melancholic music. Frieza, Zamasu added, whose voice resonated like a thunder, shaking the ground beneath her feet. Inside his prison, the evil emperor would slowly open his eyes. A mixture of disgust and surprise would cross his face. What the hell are you doing here, Zamasu? Frieza yelled with contempt, while his voice cut off the absurd melody that surrounded him. Zamasu would advance towards him, extending a hand impregnated with black energy. The ribbons that held Frieza prisoner would break with a dry snap, and the capuchin fell to the ground, freeing the tyrant. Frieza lands gracefully, stretching as if he had just woken up from a long and tedious dream. You owe me a debt, Frieza. Would you say, Zamasu, with coldness? I have freed you from this absurd torture. Now you will help me execute my revenge against the mortals. Frieza would release a dry and cutting crack, crossing his arms. Help you? Are you crazy? I'm here precisely because I trust you. Your plans led me to death, and I have no intention of repeating that experience, Frieza noted. You have few options, Zamasu noted with a cold voice and her gaze full of contempt. If you stay here, you will be once again a prisoner of this pathetic farce. Together, we could destroy the gods, Goku, and any being who dares to challenge our power. Frieza would look at him with a sinister smile, but his gaze was full of calculating caution. Maybe, but there is a small problem. If Beerus discovers that I am back and working with you, he will use his destructive power to finish me off in a definitive way. There will be no other chance to resurrect me, Frieza growled seriously. Zamasu would tighten her fists, with her dark aura emanating pure energy. The gods are arrogant, and Beerus is no exception. With my knowledge of the dimensional cracks and your power, we can find a solution. Not only will we hide, but we will strengthen ourselves until even the Zeno cannot destroy us, Zamasu declared. Frieza would raise an intrigued eyebrow, but not entirely convinced. Interesting theory. But if we fail, I assure you that I will have no mercy on you, Zamasu. This time, if I fall, I will not go alone, Frieza snapped. Zamasu smiled with a twisted expression that emanated a mixture of contempt and blind confidence. Then we have no time to lose. There is a place beyond time and space where even the gods cannot see. There we will prepare the end of everything they know, Zamasu shouted. Frieza looked at him for a moment longer, then extended his hand toward Zamasu. Be it as it may, but it will be under my terms. And if you dare to betray me again, You will wish to have been destroyed the moment you escaped, Frieza declared. With a gesture full of mutual contempt and alliances full of poison, both villains would take each other's hands, uniting their dark powers to open a gap in reality. An impenetrable darkness would swallow them both, while hell remained silent after its departure, marking the beginning of a greater and more lethal threat than anything that mortals or gods had faced before. Then we see Goku arrive in Hell. He had realized that Frieza was dead, but as he suspected, he was no longer there. Demons, I should have come sooner, Goku continued. Zamasu took him away. Then Goku would reach the planet of Beerus to give the news. I can't believe Frieza is still working with that fool despite losing his life, Beerus said. I think Mr. Frieza has had too many opportunities, Whis noted. Yes, you are right. Next time, you will meet my Hakai, Beerus said. Whis, can you find Zamasu and Frieza? Goku exclaimed. I don't want this to go on any longer. I will try, but surely Zamasu will be able to make fun of my search, Whis declared. That way, Whis would start looking for Zamasu everywhere, but he would not be able to find him. It can't be. Every time he finds a trace, he gets lost, Whis commented. It seems that he leaves traces of his energy everywhere so that it's impossible for us to find him. That bastard is more slippery than I expected, Beerus commented. Zamasu, damn you bastard! You're making me lose my patience, Goku Furious continued. While Whis was still tracking with his divine energy, Goku and the others were expectant growing tension. Beerus, with his eyes closed, channeled his anger as if it were a volcano about to explode. Damn Zamasu, Beerus grunted, crushing a rock with a single finger. If we don't do something soon, this will even escape from our hands. Whis would stop his search for a moment and turn to the others with an unusually serious expression. I have a theory, Whis growled slowly. Zamasu has found a way to manipulate the energy between the kingdoms. He's not only hiding, he's creating a convergence between the world of the living and the dead. This could explain the difficulty in tracking his whereabouts. Convergence! What does that mean to us? Goku remarked. Why are you serious if you don't understand what they are telling you? Beerus remarked. Well, it sounded serious, Goku snapped. Goku, don't be stupid! Kaiosama Furious yelled. Whis would shake his scepter, and a holographic image appears in front of them, showing a crack in reality. Spirits of fallen warriors and dead beings wandered through living landscapes, creating a chaos that spread rapidly. This situation was much worse than before. It means that Zamasu is breaking the barriers between life and death. If she doesn't stop, soon the entire universe will be engulfed in absolute chaos. The living and the dead will coexist, destroying the natural balance, Whis noted. Kaiosama, from his tiny planet, observed with horror how the echoes of this rupture even reached his domain. This is a cosmic disaster.
Existence itself could collapse, Kaiosama noted. Goku, you have to fix this, now. Goku prepares to speak, but before he could do so, a strong vibration shakes the space around him. A crack appears just in the sky above Beerus's planet. On the other side, they could see flashes of an unleashed hell. An army of shadows, guided by Frieza and Zamasu, marched towards the world of the living. I found them, Goku would scream with his energy exploding as he prepared to teleport to the portal. I'm going to stop them right now. Wait, Whis interrupts. It's not that simple. They are manipulating the temporal and dimensional flow. You will need a strategy. There is no time for strategies, Goku would exclaim. If they cross the world of the living, it will be the end. Beerus agreed with severity. Goku is right. We can't wait. Whis opens a safe gap so we can attack. This time, I won't make mistakes. Beerus continued with his destruction kit that was accumulating around him like a storm. Whis would move his staff elegantly and open a direct passage to the portal created by Zamasu. Very good, Whis yelled, but do not underestimate his cunning. Zamasu has grown in power. If we manage to maintain the balance of energy, we can seal it again. Without wasting any more time, Goku, Beerus, and Whis would cross the gap, landing on a landscape where the sky was burning with purple flames and the shadows of the condemned souls wandered like specters. Frieza was waiting for them with a mocking smile. "Goku," Frieza said, extending his arms as if he were greeting him like an old friend. "What a pleasure to see you here. Do you come to witness the end of the Universal Order?" "Frieza!" Goku groaned, immediately transforming into Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken. "I'm going to stop you and Zamasu once and for all." Zamasu emerges from the shadows, with her dark aura swirling around her. Stopping is a useless and mortal dream. I have transcended existence itself. The gods have failed to destroy me, and now I am the beginning and the end of this reality, Zamasu shouted. The battle would begin with a devastating fury. Goku, shining with his increased divine energy, would launch against Zamasu. His blows resounded like thunder. Frieza, with a malicious smile, would attack Beerus, launching dark ki explosions that face the destructive power of the god. Beerus watched calmly, analyzing each movement. He knew he would need more than brute force to win. "Goku, listen," Beerus telepathically said. "You must use the reverse convergence technique. If you manipulate the reverse energy flow, you can create gaps and weaken Zamasu." "How do I do that?" Goku would scream as he dodged a ray of dark energy. "Focus on the origin point of the rupture," Whis would explain. "Imagine that you are reversing the flow of time and energy. You will need to synchronize your ki with that of the dimension itself." Goku agreed. His mind was focusing despite the intensity of the battle. With a supreme concentration, he would begin to channel his energy in a completely new way. His aura would change from bright blue to a multicolored glow, resonating with the very energy of the universe. Meanwhile, Beerus faced Frieza with a furious intensity. "I've had enough of your games, Frieza," Beerus groaned. "This will be your final end." "Do you really think you can destroy me this time?" Frieza would make fun of him, throwing a massive sphere of energy at Beerus. "Do you know how long I have waited to be able to eliminate you?" With a roar, Beerus channeled all his power in a single point and would throw a Hawkeye that disintegrates the dark energy, advancing directly towards Frieza. For the first time, the tyrant would show a spark of fear, but he would reflect that things were no longer as before. Frieza holds the energy of destruction in his hands, and it explodes over him. For a moment, Frieza disappears from everyone's sight. That's it. There's nothing left of him, not even his soul, Beerus noted. As the dust settled, a whirlwind of dark energy would form in the explosion area. Frieza would appear as if nothing, releasing flashes of dark energy. "What's going on?" Beerus snapped, disconcerted. "Destruction doesn't work on him," Whis commented. "Idiot, who do you think protected Frieza?" Zamasu replied. "Zamasu? What did you do?" Goku declared. "I only gave him my essence," Zamasu growled. "Ah, it's boring when everyone says essence," Goku snapped. "Because you don't know what the real essence is," Zamasu muttered. Zamasu would explode his ki. His energy, more than being powerful, seemed to take over the same space-time. "Immortality and my essence and the break between the living and the dead are giving me such a singular quality that it takes me off reality by becoming a being outside of it," Zamasu said. Goku turns to Whis, waiting for an explanation. "Oh, he's becoming supreme," Whis noted. "Oh, that," Goku responded. "Don't laugh, Kaio-sama Project," Zamasu remarked. "Before, I wanted your position to continue with my plans. but the evolution in me has changed. I will be the new king of everything." "Idiot, don't say that. You can bring Sino-sama," Beerus remarked, terrified. "Worry about me," Frieza remarked. When it comes to Beerus and hit him hard in the stomach, Beerus would feel the power of the attack and would be on his knees, unable to move. Beerus noted, "The advantage of being dead is that my energy is not consumed," Frieza exclaimed. "And being broken the gap between the living and the dead, my power increases. Soon, the living and the dead will all be the same. We will exist perfect beings beyond the existence of life," Zamasu responded. "Idiot, I won't allow it," Goku noted. "When launching a great attack from here, but Zamasu rejects it as if nothing." "I think you don't understand," Zamasu responded. "If I merge the world of the living with the dead, and we all exist forever, what do you think other beings will do?" "What are you talking about?" Goku declared. "The mortals that you protect so much, the dead from beyond, and the same gods will support me," Zamasu responded with laughter. "That will never happen," Goku responded. "Oh no, and what do you think gives me so much power?" Zamasu said. "It can't be," Goofy replied, terrified. It was the first time that the angel himself felt fear in his being. "Well, what's wrong?" Beerus muttered as he dodged the attacks of Frieza. "The power of Zamasu is granted by living and non-living beings. We are fighting against the living and the dead." "What?" Goku declared. "This time, the one who has the support of others is me," Zamasu commented. Zamasu would raise his hands to the sides. He would begin to receive more energy from all directions, especially dark energy. Goku would close his eyes for a moment. He could identify the energy of Cell, Babidi, and other evil beings. "It can't be true," Goku remarked. "Even those kind beings who once defended peace contributed unconsciously to Zamasu's destructive force." The warrior Saiyan would feel a knot in his stomach, but his determination only strengthened in face of the danger. "No matter how much energy you have stolen, Zamasu, I can still stop you," Goku would scream, pushing forward at a blinding speed. His fist wrapped in the bright energy of Kaioken multiplied by 20, head straight to the face of the self-proclaimed king of everything. Zamasu, with a disturbing calm, would raise one hand covered in wavering shadows and stopped Goku's blow effortlessly.
A devastating shockwave emanates from the impact point, making the same fabric of space-time tremble. Zamasu's eyes shone with a dark and terrifying light. "You don't understand anything, Goku," Zamasu commented with a sinister smile. "True strength does not come from brute power, but from absolute control over existence. The will of living and dead beings is mine. I am the final evolution of the cosmos." Goku would squeeze his teeth, pushing with all his strength. His multicolored aura resonated in perfect harmony with the universal energies, but Zamasu's power seemed infinite, an unstoppable tide of corruption. Suddenly, Goku would feel that his forces were beginning to weaken. The flow of energy around him was twisting, as if the universe itself was being devoured by the malevolent presence. Meanwhile, V was trembling after receiving another direct impact from Frieza. His breath became irregular, and the god of destruction would fall on his knees, weakened as never before. "This can't be happening," V murmured, with sweat running down his forehead. "What kind of monster have you created, Zamasu?" Frieza laughed with malice, surrounded by a dark aura that boiled with fury. "The time of the gods is over, V. Now the dead will dictate the fate of the universe." Frieza muttered as he raised his hand, condensing a sphere of black energy that vibrated with absolute destructive power. "Say goodbye to your arrogance." Before Frieza could launch his final attack, a ray of light would cut through the air and disintegrate the sphere in an explosion of sparks. Whis appears next to him, with his baculum shining intensely. "There is still hope," Whis noted with serenity, "but only if we act together." Whis muttered, confused. This situation puts my life at risk. Can I act? Whis noted. What do you suggest? Whis would ask, trying to get up. We must cut the connection of Zamasu with the living and dead Zamasu. If we manage to break the bond, their power will collapse on themselves. But for that, we will need a precise combination of destructive energy and divine energy. Whis continued. Goku, who was still fighting fiercely, would listen to Whis's words and concentrate with renewed determination. Well, let's do that, Goku growled. Nonsense. Not even your angel can help you. You can do something. The dead and the living are already the same, Zamasu exclaimed. What could happen now that Zamasu fused the world of the living with the world of the dead? What can Goku do? And also, can Whis be able to put the balance in favor of our friends? We will see all this in the next part of this incredible theory. Remember that if you want to see more parts of this theory, this video has to reach 150 likes, many comments, and subscribe for more theories. See you in the next video.